A giant pile of carnival prizes walked towards Sultan in the meadow under the evening stars. 3 colourful feathers poked out from the top of the heap of balloons, glow necklaces, rubber duckies and noisy gadgets. A few palace pets and citizens were so startled by the sight that they started backing away, hiding behind the carnival rides and game booths. But Sultan just smiled and walked right up to it. "Pounce," said Sultan, "what's going on?" "Whoa!" Pounce yelped, losing his balance under the weight of all the prizes. "Need some help?" Sultan asked. "Please," Pounce said. Sultan unloaded the prizes from Pounce's arms. "Did you win all of these?" he asked. "I sure did," said Pounce. "At the Whisker Woods carnival, everyone's a winner." "Rawsome! Hey, where do you win those?" Sultan asked, pointing to the colourful feathers at the front of Pounce's headdress. "Oh, these," Pounce replied, plucking one of the feathers from his headdress and holding it out. "I didn't win these feathers, I found them. Sundrop dropped them right over there." Pounce pointed to the edge of the meadow. "Come on, I'll show you." They raced to the edge of the meadow. There they found another vibrant feather on the ground. "Cool!" Sultan shouted. "This feather is going to look great on me." Sultan removed his hat and stuck the feather in his own headdress, just like Pounce had done. "That's a fabulous feather, Sultan," said Pounce. "But you know what sticking a cool feather in your headdress makes you, right?" said Pounce. "No, what does it make me, Pounce?" Sultan asked. "It makes you a copycat," said Pounce. "A copycat," Sultan repeated with a laugh. Sultan's laugh caused Pounce to laugh too. Suddenly Pounce stopped laughing. His ears and tail pricked up and his whiskers began to twitch. "What's going on, Pounce? What do you see? Smell? Hear?" asked Sultan. "Check it out," Pounce replied, leading Sultan over to a trail of feathers he just spotted. "Where do you think this trail leads?" "I've no idea," said Sultan, "but there's only one way to find out. Let's rock and roar," he said. Sultan and Pounce started following the trail. Though usually Sultan and Pounce both liked to run, the trail was tricky, winding this way and that out of the meadow and into the Whisker Woods. They moved slowly on the bending path, collecting more feathers. Sultan and Pounce moved deeper and deeper into the woods. Pounce stopped in front of the wood's tallest trees. "Look at the tippity top of that tree," he said. "Wow," said Sultan, seeing the stunning feather resting up on the highest branch. "I think that could be our most important feather yet," said Pounce. Sultan nodded. "No doubt about it, Pounce. So what are you waiting for? Go and grab it," he said. "Right," Pounce said. "Up, up and away." He yelled as he started climbing the tall tree. Sultan was right behind him, scaling the bark. They climbed and they climbed and they climbed. It turned out that the tree was much taller than either of them had expected, and as they got higher, they had a great view over Whisker Haven, which was getting smaller beneath them. They could see Whisker Haven Village, the Porlace and Whisker Sea twinkling below. "I think this is the tallest tree in Whisker Woods," Pounce said, gulping as the two friends kept climbing higher and higher. Finally, the beautiful peacock's feather was only a paw length away. "Grab it," Sultan hollered. And when Pounce reached out his paw, the feather was still beyond his grasp. He pushed his arm up further, still nothing. He stretched his body, then tried to extend himself even more. No luck. The feather was still too far away for Pounce to grab by himself. "You know, Pounce, I'm happy to lend a paw if you need it," said Sultan. "If you need help, just say the word." "If the word is please, then please," said Pounce. Sultan laughed. "Of course," he said, "just hop on my back and you should be able to reach it." Pounce scampered up Sultan's back, and sure enough, when he reached up, he snatched the feather off the branch. "Got it," he called. "Rawsome," said Sultan. "That tickles my tiger tail." Pounce admired his new feather, and he and Sultan made their way back down the tree. "Thanks for helping me, Sultan, and if you ever need me to lend you a paw, just ask," said Pounce. Sultan laughed. "Thanks, Pounce, but I never need help. Remember, I'm a brave adventurer." He puffed out his chest. "Now, let's rock and roar. We have more feathers to find." Racing back to the trail, the two friends spotted another bright and bold feather. It was stuck in a crack in a rock wall. As they roared in excitement, the feather fluttered down right in front of them. "Oh yeah," Sultan shouted, grabbing it. "We make a great team," Pounce said, smiling. "Hey look, is that another feather over on that log?" The log was floating in Whisker Haven's bog. "Sure is, and I'm going to grab it," said Sultan with a smile. "Catch this cat if you can." "Right behind you," Pounce shouted. Sultan felt like showing off a little, so when he got to the edge of the bog, he started dancing his way across the logs, skipping towards the feather. "Be careful," Pounce warned. "Be careful is for scaredy pets. I'm so brave I could cross this log with my eyes closed," Sultan said, shutting his eyes and running. Unfortunately for Sultan, the surface of the log wasn't quite even. So although he was very brave, his bravery didn't stop him from tripping and losing his balance. "Roar!" he yelled as he fell off the log and into the mucky bog. "Sultan, are you okay?" Pounce said, racing over. "Take my paw." He extended his paw so Sultan could grab on and lift himself out of the bog. "Thanks, but no thanks. I got this," Sultan said as he tried hoisting himself up. But getting unstuck from the bog was a lot harder than Sultan expected. He puffed up his chest, let out a roar, and with all his might he yanked and yanked his legs to get them free. But it was no use. Sultan was stuck. "Hey Sultan, are you sure you don't need any help?" Pounce said. "I told you, Pounce, I'm fine," Sultan replied. But even as he said it, he could feel himself starting to sink deeper into that murky bog. And the more he tried to paddle his way out, the deeper he seemed to go. Sultan sighed. "Pounce," he hesitantly murmured, "could I get a little help?" "Finally," said Pounce, reaching out his paw. "Now it's my turn to lend a paw to a friend in need." Sultan took Pounce's paw, and Pounce pulled his friend up out of the muddy bog in a flash. Once Sultan was back on the log, he shook all of the bog water out of his coat. Then he nodded at Pounce. "Thanks! You saved me!" "Of course," Pounce said. "That's what friends are for." "It was so much easier to get out of that bog with your help," said Sultan. "I should have asked you for help as soon as I fell." "You should have," said Pounce with a smile. Sultan's tail twitched. "Guess I thought I'd seem like a scaredy cat," he said. "Even the proudest, fiercest, bravest tigers ask for help sometimes," Pounce said with a laugh. "Yeah, you're right," said Sultan, smiling, "and I promise to ask for help if I ever need it again." "Not that I ever will," he laughed. "Sometimes it's hard for a tiger to change his stripes. But I'm learning. Now let's rock and roar." The two friends raced off, leaving the bog far behind them.